Hello everyone and welcome back to Sudden Wealth. I hope you guys are doing very well. If you do enjoy the content, please consider dropping that like and subscribe. So guys, I'm still planning to do the live stream tomorrow. I'm not gonna put an invite. I'm not gonna put a kind of a preview live or anything like that because I don't know what happens, but I always have some issue in which a lot of people get stuck waiting for me on the other one, and then when I start it, for some reason it doesn't work, and then I need to start a new one, and then I have to wait like 5 minutes until people figure it out and come back. So I'll just go live, and that's it. Okay, so please bear in mind, that's my plan, Plan. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do it, but I'll try. Okay, because then if I cannot do it, what? You told us you're going to do it, you mother effer, what's wrong with you? And I already know how it is. So please bear in mind, it's a Plan around this time, hopefully, maybe a little bit later, we'll see. But that's going to be the plan. Now, it's actually quite funny. I got so many views, like 1,600, which for me is quite a lot of views. And the only thing I had to do was to post a title asking if there was going to be a crash this week. By the way, now there are people saying, here it is, the crash is here. So apparently we are in the point where 1% is a crash. Like, for example, we can rally 25%. That doesn't matter. If we drop 1%, it's the end of the world. This is where we are today. This is why videos with crash on their titles work so well. So I may actually put another clickbait title like that today. But in my defense, guys, I do actually post a question. So something like, is this the start of the crash? Like something like that. And then obviously I'll tell you my opinion. And I don't do something that, for example, Crypto Banter does, which is something like this. Why this cycle will not perform as you expect and things are about to collapse. For example, something like this. And then the next video is how the market's going to go up. So basically, for the next few months. So basically, polar opposite videos. Same person, polar opposite videos. And it does this, it's not just him, by the way, but it does this in order to basically say that whatever happens, he was right. That's the point. I think the worst on this is probably Meet Kevin. Meet Kevin since 2021, I've seen him talk about recession, Great Depression, and World War III. I'm not exaggerating, at least 50 times. 50. At least. I think I'm being... No, because every time we had a sell-off, he would talk about it daily, sometimes several times in the same day. So I think I'm being very conservative with 50. So basically, if you listen to him for any meaningful amount of time, it's something like this. Recession, the job market is going to collapse, the stocks are going to sell off, it's going to be a major sell-off, maybe it's going to be a spike, yields are going to spike, 40% sell-off, blah, blah, blah. But then the next video says, hey, you should buy stocks, these stocks, and the other. But wait a minute, it just told me for 45 minutes that this thing's about to go to an end, and then here you are telling me that if you buy these stocks, they'll perform very well. So which one is it? Because it seems very conflicting. So he's one of the masters of this. Now, moving on to the market now in a more serious fashion. Yes, we saw the dollar going up and the bonds going down. That's not good. That is tightening of financial conditions, and that tends to lead to worse financial conditions. Now, the dollar has been dropping quite a bit, and oil prices also dropped quite a bit, so it's expected to have bounces. But once again, TLT tried to go above the 200 daily, failed, and it dropped quite aggressively. Is that bullish? No. So I cannot come here and say, oh yeah, that's great. No, it's not. It's not great. Now, does that mean that we're just putting here a double bottom or triple bottom and we're going to ramp up? I don't know. That part I really don't know. So I'm not going to speculate because we can easily sell off more and we can also bounce more. This is why below the 200 is a little bit too much of a guess to me. If you believe that bonds will do well, feel free to accumulate them. It's up to you. It's not up to me. I look at bonds primarily as they are the big daddy of the market. So the bond market is around 4 times bigger than the stock market. And if you understand liquidity flows, You cannot have the stock market pumping for extended periods of time while the bond market is dropping 1% a day. That just doesn't work. Now, Elon Musk apparently announced the creation of a new party. Is he going to go through with it? Is he going to march forward with that idea? To be honest, I don't know. It's a bit like trying to predict Trump's tariffs. It's very difficult. You're bound to get it wrong. Do I think people should take him seriously? Yes. Why? Well, because he succeeded in many different ventures in his life, and you don't do that by being an idiot. So he's not an idiot. He may not understand fully the financial system, which is, most people don't, and I can tell that he doesn't because he keeps on posting stuff from Ray Dalio, who's been predicting the end of the world like since most of my adulthood. And this is a guy that he has no problems traveling everywhere, selling his books, doing his press conferences, doing his tours. So you need to understand, right? If you're a guy like Ray Dalio, this is very good for you at home to understand. If you're a guy like Ray Dalio, with his 100-year cycles and all of this kind of crap, if you actually believed what you're saying, you would not be touring, accepting dollars for your books. You'd be, every dollar you got gold, weapons, alcohol, cigarettes, you name it, and you would spend most of your time, if not all of your time, inside the bunker, 3 feet under. That's what 30 feet under. That's what you would do if you actually believed what you said. But because obviously you don't, but it's much easier to sell your books if you write, oh, there's this, what did I tell you? I told you guys this 1,000 times. Oh, there's this correlation between the moon in the month of January and the lizard going up this tree in Australia. When these two correlate, the Roman Empire fell. I mean, like, it's something like this. And it sells a lot because, oh my God, really? Really? So as long as I just look at this lizard all my life, I'm going to predict the future of the financial markets dating back to the 1600s. This is the kind of, no, actually, the Roman Empire is much older than that. This has been working 1,500 for 1,500 years. It only didn't work with ancient Egypt, but besides that, it works every single time. That's why nobody looks at it. It works so well that nobody looks. I mean, but it sells a lot. People say, oh my God, what if he makes a correlation between Piers Morgan shouting and the position of Mars in the sky and the stock market, right? Maybe, of course, there are millions of points of data. There's always going to be a correlation of some sort, some weird stuff. And then what you're going to find out is that most of the times it doesn't work, but it doesn't get the publicity that by the few times that actually works. See what I mean? It's the same thing with, and usually there's no verification of what is said, so it just ends up being a big lie, and it's usually a good story. Now, this is something you have to keep in mind. It's a good story that has only one big issue: factual evidence. That's the problem. You see, all of these issues fall amongst the old thing called evidence. Example. Oh my God, this is Peter Schiff. The dollar is falling, and because the dollar is falling and the US imports a lot of stuff, then inflation is going to go through the roof. CPI is going to explode because the dollar is weaker and we import a lot of stuff. So we're going to lose a lot of money. So this is going to be a disaster, right? So this is the story. Say, oh my God, yeah, really, the dollar falling and we import. Yeah, it's not great. Reality. The dollar index was on average 88 through 2010-2020. Average inflation 1.9%. Oh, okay, that's not great. That doesn't really match up with my story. Oh, by the way, the years where the dollar was 77, 82, 84, actually CPI was 1.4%, 1.5, 1.6. Oh, so some of the lowest years of inflation corresponded with the lower levels of the dollar versus other currencies. Oh, why didn't Peter Schiff told me that? Yeah, because the story serves a purpose. They tell you a story, they scare you, you buy what he's selling, he makes money, you don't. Ta-da! Great business model. And when you're wrong, which is how it's about to happen. Just wait another, let's call it 50 years, and it's gonna, 50 years, but you told me it was imminent. Just wait for it. gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I know that I predicted the dollar collapse the first time in 1996, and the dollar is actually higher now than what it was then. But let's not talk about it. It's not good. The same stories. With all foreigners are all dumping their U.S. treasuries. U.S. treasuries dropped 0.4% held by foreigners from March to April. Oh, I thought this was a massive crash. I know. Foreigners are dumping all the U.S. stocks because they don't trust them anymore. Oh, foreign holdings of U.S. stocks hits new all-time high in June of 2025. Okay, this doesn't seem to align with the story, but I'm sure they are reporting it, right? They are reporting the real, no, they stopped talking about the subject altogether. Okay. See, this is the problem. Denzel Washington said it the best. If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you read it, you're misinformed. That's basically what it is. Now we are back to the same thing. Oh, Trump is putting inflation... sorry. Going back to Elon Musk's party. So let's run this game in your heads. What does Elon Musk stand against? Military spending and intervention, illegal immigration, deficit spending, debt accumulation. Okay. Which party had the wars? The most of the wars in the last 10 years or so. Okay. Which one had all the illegal immigration? Is the same. Which one had record deficits as a percentage of GDP and I was quiet the whole time? Okay, that's the same party once again. And who doesn't give two craps about debt accumulation, destroying free speech, all of this? It's again the same party. I know how to solve this. I'm going to create a party to take votes from the other party that is trying to take them out of power. So basically, I'm going to create a party to make sure that these people responsible for this are going to get elected permanently. Yeah, that's my strategy. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe that's going to happen. I mean, who knows? Maybe Elon Musk would like to be part of the Democrat team again. Maybe he thinks that he's going to win the election. Maybe. I mean, who knows? I'm just trying to go through the process of thinking. So basically, you're against all these four things, and you want to vote the party that wants to put these four things on steroids. Okay, fine. If that's the case, then I guess I didn't predict that part correctly. I'm not saying it's impossible, by the way. I think anything is possible. I think if anything has been told to us in the last 5, 7, 8 years, is that anything is possible. Now, Trump is sending out letters with tariffs, and there's a little caveat written there. If you drop your stuff, we will consider dropping this tariff. Is this a negotiation tactic? Is this actually what's going to happen? In case you haven't seen, Japan is a huge mess. Korea just got their president impeached, a new election again. Canada, you just saw the manufacturing data coming out. It's a complete disaster. So, yeah, I don't think they are in the particularly strong position. It doesn't mean that the US is all powerful. That's not what it means. It just has to be a little bit more powerful than the other side. See what I mean? So is this a negotiation tactic? I don't know. Is this really, for real, gonna happen? Will this happen, for example, will this happen for, let's say, 2 weeks? And then it's gonna affect the Japanese and the Koreans so badly that they're gonna go back into the negotiation table basically conceding everything? I don't know. As I've told you, I've stopped trying to predict these kind of things because it's very hard and most likely gonna look like an idiot if you do it. So any of these options are good. The detractors will say, oh, he's gonna put it, but then the data is gonna be so bad that he's gonna chicken out again. So these are the detractors. Then you're gonna have the supporters. Oh my God, we're gonna punish them. We're gonna destroy him. You have no idea. We're gonna have 80% GDP growth. And so you're not gonna get sound information from either side. I think the market is not selling off as much anymore, but once again, the market was starting to price in perfection again. We've been very, very hot for an extended period of time, and this is a volatile subject, so you're gonna have some, guess what, volatility. And the biggest massive crash we've just witnessed of less than 1.5%. Distraction. Yeah, this is where we are today. People are obsessed with crashes. People see crashes everywhere. Let's say we have a crash. Yes, we can. Can we drop 10%, 15%? Sure. What's happening to liquidity? Up and up and up and up and up. So, by any meaningful amount of time, these old things will go into all-time highs again. And then people say, oh, next time it's going to drop 80%. By the way, the tariffs that caused so much craziness, the trueflation is back to 1.85%. 1.85%. I think the worst it got to was 2.22%. Oh my God. Here we go again. The tariffs will create massive inflation. Based on, well, don't look at the data, because the data doesn't show it. So look at some presentation by a professor in the 1940s. I'm sure he will be correct. Once again, we go back to the same old thing. Now, more important stuff. In all seriousness, I do believe risk assets should be going up by, in any meaningful time frame. I would like to see the business cycle really picking up, so we beat the data and we beat the expectations. ISM, manufacturing services, etc. last week. I would like to keep seeing that for the next month and so on. As we know, we need those kind of data to keep going. And I would like the Fed to stop playing politics, because what's going to happen, I think, is the Fed is so politicized at the moment that what's going to happen is Trump's going to pick his own puppet or his own person that's going to do everything he wants. Do I like it? No, because that will invariably lead to the Democrats eventually doing the same thing. And once again, if Powell didn't cut rates back in September and October, just before the election, if he hadn't cut there, I would be on his side right now, because the data at the time didn't just justify it less than it does today. Now, of course, he's going to say, oh, no, it's the fact that people are deporting illegals is because there's tariff uncertainty. He's going to say anything. If it was a no tariff, he was going to say, oh, it's the conflicts in the world are not resolved, so I'm not really, it doesn't matter what it is. It's insert reason. And so my issue with him is he used certain arguments to cut in September and October. And if you use them, which is fine, you have to use them now too. And you should have started cutting almost since January. So you use the same data-driven metrics, which he didn't. Now he cut. So now it's a political decision, and so Trump is gonna go, because it's his New York style. Oh, you try to screw me with your politics. Now I'm gonna play politics tenfold, and I'm gonna pick someone who's gonna get there and drop rates 2% on the first day. This is the problem, right? This is where we end in this world of politicizing every little subject. It's a big shame. Now, is there a crash in the cards? Look, personally, I don't think so. Can we see some volatility? Yes. Can we see some sell-offs, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7%? Yes. Is it a massive crash? My God, it's the end of the world? To be honest, I don't think so. Maybe something is fundamentally changing that I'm not seeing. I don't see it. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I think in, let's say, a year from now, things will be substantially better than they are today. So you can call me an idiot. You can say, no, it's going to go to zero in a month. Write that down, so the wealth is going to go to, everything is going to go to zero. The real estate, everything, I'm going to load up my bunker that I dig up with my own hands, with a shovel and a bucket, and that's it, man. I'm going to live underground with the ants and the, what's that animal with, they cannot see, that digs these holes, I forgot the name, No, English is not my first language, so apologize for that. Sure, I mean, if you want to live like that, up to you. With that, thank you very much for support, guys. Don't forget, like and subscribe. If you can, come to the planned live stream tomorrow. Planned. Did you hear the word plan? Live stream tomorrow. Ask me a lot of questions. Tell me I'm a complete buffoon. It's all fine. Just keep it respectful and towards me, never to my family. That's my only rule. And by the way, if you see messages of, oh, I forgot or here's my wallet password, blah, 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 I always try to delete those comments. It actually punishes my video, but I don't care. Or if there's someone promising amazing investments and returns, or if someone is reaching out saying they are me asking for with a phone number, they're all scams. I mean, I think you guys are pretty versed on YouTube, but there's always someone that asks, oh, is this really real? No. And with that, thank you very much for your patience, and I'll catch you in the next one.